welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All right, here we go. It is the Wednesday KVJ After the Show podcast. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great.
Just putting out fires, lighting new ones.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what we do.
Everything's on fire, huh?
Putting out fires, lighting new ones out. Or up. What?
What are you lighting up?
It sounds like I've been lighting up something and smoking it.
I got a bunch of emails here today. One about a discussion we had with the peeves that people have in traffic. And number one peeve was people going slow in the fast lane. And I guess the comment was made, how would somebody know not to clog the left lane? Virginia talked about people you knew that were like, oh, really? You can't go slow in the fast lane?
They learned about that as an adult.
Wow. Our buddy Dan said, how would people know? Well, there is a big sign a lot of times that says slower traffic, keep right, it's the law.
I get mixed feelings about lights and signs that are bright and flash at you while you're driving. There's one, every time I go on I-95, I find myself looking at the billboard and not the road. It's so mesmerizing.
Yeah, someone might just bring you in.
There's got to be some kind of stat of motherfuckers that crashed their car looking at billboards. I can't be the only person that's...
Distracted driving. Yeah, there are
Yes.
numbers on that. I don't know if it's for billboards specifically, but
You see what I'm saying? Though? There's all these lights and it's on the side, so you're looking over to your left.
yeah, you got the ADD and you're just like, "Ugh."
Look, you throw a
tough.
little bright light up at me, I'm going to look at that thing.
Ty said, yeah, the law that that sign refers to is the slowpoke law in Florida. It says a driver must move over if they reasonably know they are being overtaken by a faster motorist. This goes for any roadway.
But they would have to be the person that's trying to pass them. They can't be speeding. They'd have to be going the regular lawful speed, and then that's when they could do that to the person, right?
9, you're fine. 10, you're mine. That's what the cops say.
No, man. 4, the guy was a whore. Sometimes they can pull you over. Oh, what I'm saying is...
4, the guy's a whore.
What's he
I don't
doing?
think they say that. I've never heard anybody say 4,
You
the guy's a
don't feel like
whore.
maybe that's an actual saying that people use?
I was going 4 miles an hour.
You're just making shit up.
No, I was going 4
Doesn't
over.
sound like it.
And the motherfucker pulled me over. I'm like, 4, you're a whore.
I'll definitely call the cop a whore.
I did it. I did in my mind.
Doesn't say anything about the miles per hour. And now maybe this is just a abbreviated version. If you want to read the full Florida statute, it's 316.081. But it does say specifically, driver must move over if they reasonably know they are being overtaken by a faster motorist. So it doesn't refer to at a certain speed limit. It'd be like going, well, if they're going 20 miles over, then I'm not moving. You shouldn't be speeding anyway.
Yeah, you can't be the police because
Yeah.
then you start a whole thing.
And you do see it. You know, the one thing I would say is there are times where I'm driving along, you look up and some guy's going so unreasonably fast, and I'm talking probably 90 to 95 at least as a minimum speed, and they come up on you so fast that you're like, oh, whoa, okay.
But that's not the time to panic. You got to just chill and then get over when you safely can.
But that would be the only time, I was going to say, that I'm ever in the fast lane, and I shouldn't be.
Well,
And so
that's
if I
not your fault.
Yeah, if I got pulled over and like going, the guy was going 110, so he did come up on me quick, so sorry I didn't get over.
110 guy seems like the fuckface in that situation.
He is. If he's going 110, he's definitely what we call fuckface.
Why are we protecting the fuckface?
Well, most people aren't going 110. I'm talking about like you're going 70 in the fast lane and the person behind you wants to go 75 or 80 and you won't get over and so you're causing the backup. This is not about the fuckface going 95.
See, I don't think the Kevin Ralston speeds, but I tell you who does. Boston Ralston. And he goes 69 and a 25.
Yeah, he puts on some classic rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets bitches pregnant.
Just licks it.
I'll put on some fog hat.
Churns the butter.
That's it.
He baskets so
He butters your bread.
Baskets some
Butters your basket? What do you do?
butters pussy.
Let me see a couple other things going on here. I don't know if you guys followed that Alex Murdaugh trial, the guy in South Carolina.
Yeah, if this dude gets out on a technicality, this would be insanity.
That is pretty fucked when somebody, we're talking about murder and sex crime, stuff, the horrific shit. If it's a technicality and everyone knows it's just a technicality, I don't think that should count. I think if they know you've done something and they can prove that, but then there's this little bitch-ass technicality, I don't think that's fair.
They're saying this chick who was like all involved in the proceedings and even read the verdict, they're saying that she jury tampered and went and told the jurors how to vote and told them that none of the stuff that Murdaugh says should be believed. He shouldn't be believed. I mean, if she did all that and the jurors are signing affidavits to attest to it, then that's jury tampering.
Well, that is jury tampering.
They'll
Yeah,
probably
it's not
convict him again because there's overwhelming evidence that he killed his family. Sicko.
But that's what I mean.
But you don't even have to tamper with that jury to get a conviction. What's this bitch doing? Throw her ass in jail.
I guess my point is, if we know, everyone knows the person did the crime, and some shit like that is blocking them, and with a redo it all again because of that one reason, I think it's kind of stupid. If we all know he killed the motherfuckers,
we better not let him out while he's awaiting a new trial because that's when he runs.
To be quite honest with you, for some reason, I have not at all been involved in this case.
Oh, I know all about it.
For some reason, it does not interest me.
It tickles my private parts. I love it.
I don't even know the details of it.
It's so juicy. It's this family of power and legal power in a small town. They was big fish, Jay Bird.
I don't like rich or money murder.
It's Southern rich money murder, and it's covering up years of sins.
I like regular creepy murder.
This family thought they could do whatever they wanted, and they all acted that way.
And that's what I thought it was about. It was money, prestige, all that kind of shit.
So this woman was writing a book, which came out right after the trial. And so she stood to gain financially from it, which she did. And it does look like she tampered with the jury. If they can prove it, then he'll get a new trial. And he, I assume, will not be let out. He'll just hang in the pokey until they give him a new trial, but it does seem like he is due a new trial if what they accuse her of doing is true.
She needs to go on trial for what she did.
Yeah, I agree.
If she tampered with the jury and tried to affect the outcome, you can't be involved in the case and do that kind of shit. You're just as bad as him. Well, not just as bad, but you're bad.
But for example, let's say some shit happened during the Jeffrey Dahmer trial where it was a technicality, but we all know this motherfucker did everything. Because of the technicality, you have to redo everything. I don't think that's cool.
It depends upon, it's a case by case. It's
Agreed.
what is the technicality? Because in this case, what you might call a technicality, I think is, in a lot of it seems like legal experts agree. This is a lot more than just that. This is definitely grounds for a new trial.
It'll be a Hail Mary for a new trial, and they'll go for it, and they'll do it. But hopefully the evidence will stand, and he'll still be convicted because there's kind of, I mean, so much proof. And now there's probably even more proof.
Objection, Your Honor. I love doing that. I want to do that in a courtroom so bad.
I dare you. I dare you. You big clown ass.
I didn't pass the bar, but I did visit a few.
And the other story I thought was amusing, the Bankman-Fried, he's the founder of FTX that used to have their name on the arena in downtown Miami.
That curly-headed fuck.
Yeah, he's trying to wiggle and do everything he can to try to get out of jail because he's finding that he's not enjoying it.
Oh, imagine that. Jail sucks when you steal money from people.
Oh, rats.
Oh.
Yeah, he said that his conditions are not suitable, and he said that in jail he does not have a good variety of hot vegan food. And so he needs to be let free because it's violating his rights as a vegan.
See, to me, I feel like if you say some shit like that about vegan food in prison, cell block E's gonna fuck you up, right?
I mean, you are so soft. You're gonna get your ass beat if you're in Gen Pop.
If you're in some hardcore prison, you're not speaking about your vegan food. You can always say that shit.
Yeah.
If you know you can't get stabbed.
The conditions are inhumane because you don't have a good selection of hot vegan food.
I mean, that's bullshit. I think if you're a vegan, you go to prison. Tough titty.
Yeah.
Said the
Titty
city.
is right. All of a sudden, your culinary needs, guess what, ain't gonna be met.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Prison's not fun?
I can't have it my way. This isn't Burger King.
I think somebody else who fucked around and found out too is that Enrique Tarrio. I think he's from Miami. He's the Proud Boys guy.
He did fuck around and find out.
That's kind of a one of those fuck around and find out kind of moments because I'm sure he thought nothing of it. He thought, okay, we're going to do this whole thing with Trump on January 6th. And he's like, wait a minute, 22 years in prison?
And he wasn't even in the Capitol.
Right.
They say he was the leader, but he fired everybody up to go do his dirty work, and he wasn't there. And they said, okay.
How much are you sweating if you're one of his cronies? It was kind of around, and you're like, oh, shit.
They're getting all of them.
Oh, I mean, would you have ever thought on that day that you were looking at possibly 22 years in prison?
Hey, he didn't.
For this fuckery you're about to unleash on the Capitol?
You should be. The damage they did to those Capitol police that were just there trying to protect the Capitol. I'm sorry. You don't get to beat the police on that kind of a level. And some of them died.
That's
Some of them
crazy.
took their life afterward. Like, you don't get to do that and then not have
No.
it come back on you. That's not how normal society works.
But that's what the fuck around and find out's all about. There's no way he ever, I'm sure in his wildest dreams, imagined he'd be looking at 22 years in prison.
Well, I think all those people,
On that day.
they all brainwashed each other into thinking
Yeah.
that they were doing the right thing
Right.
and they were fighting
They're
for
on
the
the right side of history,
Constitution.
yeah.
And they were going to be on the right side of history by not allowing that vote to go down to put Joe Biden in office. And whether you like Joe or not, you got to just let the process play out. You can't try to kill police officers.
I'm not sure the dude that wore the horn hat either. I don't know if they.
Oh, they got him already.
That would be the definition of peacocking too hard.
Yeah.
He's already in jail.
Yeah, let's go mess things. Let's go have a little fun. Let's kick it around a little bit.
Make sure you wear something so that you can be identified with every camera possible.
I'm sure one of those guys just turned their baby like, let's go fuck around, man. See what happens.
I got this fucking cool outfit. Look at these horns.
Let's go fuck around.
The horn.
And now the find out part is what really sucks. You're like, wait, I'm doing how many years? What?
I got brainwashed into doing this, and it's not even real. What?
That's crazy. Yeah, so I was like, damn, that sucks, man. That sucks. All right, let's see. Got some other inquiring emails here. Pedro says, hey, why does Kevin sit so low? He looks like he's sitting on the floor. I don't know. I used to sit really high, and I don't know.
Well,
I like this better.
Your desk doesn't really allow you to sit high. I try to sit high too,
Yeah.
and then it goes way too above my tits.
Yeah, it does. What happens? You kind of like I kept hitting my knees. I'd smack my knees because there's a control board in front of me, and it drops down below where the table is that you can't see. And so you think you have more room than you do. And I would always pull my chair and go, boom. Have you ever nailed your knee
Yes.
on something hard?
It's the worst.
My gosh. And I do it right before I was about ready to crack the mic. I go, oh, fuck. And you're like,
Isn't that always the way?
and you had to bite your tongue. And so I did that enough. I effed around and I found out. And now I sit low.
I cannot wait when we live in a world where you guys can see each other again.
It'd be nice,
because I can see
yeah.
both of you, and I can always
It's
see
tough.
the confusion, and like Kevin's leaning to go hit the commercial, and then Virginia's furthermore, Kev, men are terrible.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes, though, I do like it because I can say some crazy ass shit and then just hide over here. And then I'll have to look at Kevin's disapproving stare.
See, I have to see not only the disappointment I give Kevin, but then I have to see your disappointment as well. And then
Good.
sometimes we tag team the disappointment, and that's when his chair goes just a little bit lower that day.
I don't want to see the sadness in that man's eyes.
Virginia's going to get a sign she's going to hold up in front of her face.
It might change how crazy I am, and I'm having fun.
Well, I can see Virginia. I can see Kevin starting to go to commercial break, and then I can see Virginia ramping up, going into a thought, and I'm just back here going, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Chaos.
Somebody said, speaking about effing around and finding out, did you see the people had to sit in traffic for 9 hours trying to leave Burning Man?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That was a mess, man.
Well, I saw on social media somebody had posted and said, I live right by Burning Man, and I was going to go out and play golf, and I saw the weather forecast, and it said severe rain. So you know what I did? I stayed at home. Do these guys not check the weather? What were they expecting? They're going into the desert where it was supposed to have flash flooding.
I think they just thought Burning Man is rain or shine. Y'all ain't gonna burn us. You ain't gonna flood us. Like, we're going.
They don't know the concept of mud?
No, if they're golfers, they're concentrating on their golfing game.
No, these are partiers.
Oh.
These partiers look forward to this Burning Man thing all year long. This is a pilgrimage for a lot of these people. They rent campers, they own campers, they get costumes, they get things. Like, Burning Man is now like a legendary level experience. It's like a Woodstock. It's like a thing. And these people were like, no fucking weather's, no rainstorm's gonna stop us. And they went out there and they fucked around, and the weather showed them.
Yeah. And 9 hours to get in there. And then the other thing, I guess one of the mantras of Burning Man is leave no trace. And everybody ditched all their shit. There's all kinds of coolers and beds. And there's just so much garbage now in the desert.
Because everything that got this mud on it, like, I guess the desert turned to mud. Who knew that would happen? I thought just it was wet sand, but no. It turned into a sticky mud that got all over everybody's stuff, their vehicles, their tents, their campers, their costumes. Like, everybody was so muddy, and the mud is like clay.
Do we find the desert sexy in this room, or not really? Are we desert not so much?
No, I've got no allure to the desert.
I don't really either.
No.
I get zero desire. When I get that it's beautiful, but once you see a couple of those big ass rocks,
There's nothing I find cool about the desert other than maybe the cactuses. I love cactus.
Okay. That's about it for you.
That's about it for me.
I feel like if we were ever stranded, I would be able to drink the cactus and keep us alive for a little bit. I know to drain a cactus.
I do think you can slice that bitch.
It sounds like a
open.
dirty euphemism, doesn't it?
Definitely.
I'm going to drain the cactus.
Oh, I'm going to suck it dry, Kevin.
Kevin, it is so saturated, this cactus.
The cactus is very phallic.
Here you go.
It really is. And then you got the word prick. It's got pricks on it. So, yeah, very phallic.
Oh, he's ready to suck it.
Does play out nicely. Another question here. Michael said, Kevin used to be a smoker. Did I hear an episode recently that Kevin used to smoke? How the hell did you quit? I quit heroin and alcohol 10 years ago. I picked up smoking 8 years ago, and it's even harder than heroin to quit. So
Kevin wasn't a real smoker.
He was a poser smoker.
He was a poser smoker. I think I dabbled with it a little bit too. I was like a party smoker, but I mean, it wasn't real.
When I first got on the show, Virginia would she'd take a drag or two if she was drinking, which was a lot. took a lot of drags. And Kevin, it was so bizarre because I knew Kevin as a smoker. We would have the show like we're doing right now. We'd immediately have a meeting, but would go outside and Kevin would puff on his cigarette with producer Heather for a little bit.
But then he would never smoke for the remainder of the day. Like, I think it was a de-stressing thing after the show.
And it was weird because you didn't do it I was on the show, and I would say 2 or 3 weeks me being on the show, you never smoked again.
Yeah.
So it might have been a thing you were trying out, maybe.
No,
it wasn't something you always did.
No, I had a little bit, and there was a guy, because I would get there way early to get ready for the show and just kind of break up the monotony of, okay, I need a break, and we go out and have a ciggy, and then I come back in and go back on my thing, so kind of broke up the monotony of it. So, yeah, it wasn't anything that I was ever serious about. You know, I'd work with serious smokers. There was one guy I worked with in Kansas City. First thing he did, as soon as he woke up, he's like, cigarette. And he would go right to it. He would smoke in the shower. I'm like, that's unbelievable. So that to me is a serious smoker.
When I first met Denny's, he was a chain smoker, and we would work on music together. And I'm not kidding. He'd take breaks every 20 minutes. And then when he quit smoking, it was what a change of world it was.
Yeah.
It really did kind of open up a lot of time.
Right.
It turns out you get so much more done when you're not taking a break every 20 minutes.
Well, Denny's even said, he goes, smoking it's hard to, some people say cigarettes is the hardest thing to break. Even like the guy said, heroin.
Yeah.
Some people have claimed that quitting cigarettes was harder than heroin.
Yeah, I could see that. I think a lot of times when you have habits like that, you need to distract yourself and get onto something else. And so that's why a lot of times smokers will go to gum or they'll go to something else that just kind of hits those pleasure centers in the brain. And so you just need to find something else. Sometimes smokers go the complete 180 and they go from smoking to crazy exercise junkies.
Or they go from smoking, okay, I can't smoke no more. 69.
Guys,
Yeah.
Guy, you get 69, a guy or a girl.
show me on Suits.
By the way, thank you to all the married couples who continuously send me
Videos of them 69.
Jay Bird, me and my wife, or me and my husband, we still 69, been married for 43 years. I'm like, all right.
Look at this video.
Look how low my balls are.
I suffocated her. She died.
We 69. It's gross, but we do it all the time.
Oh, it's disgusting. My balls hit her and they're like earmuffs.
That's what they used to do on HBO. They had a thing called Real Sex. And it was you remember that documentary?
Vaguely, yeah.
You come home from a party, all ginned up, thinking, oh, cool, there's some titties on. And it'd be Real Sex, and you'd be watching 75-year-olds fuck. I'm like,
What more you're looking for.
not what I was looking for.
Nobody's looking for that.
No.
That is not the kind of porn that you want to seek out.
Real Sex always did that.
If it is, you weird.
Then tease, you go, oh, cool, got some titties. 80-year-olds fucking, I'm out.
No thanks. Yeah, it's probably been 19 or 20 years since I even had a cigarette. I'm in a weird place now. If I smell cigarette smoke, I get nauseous, very nauseous.
It's crazy because people that smoke here in the building, if they go on the elevator, they'll leave. They'll be gone from the elevator for 10 minutes, and their smoke is still suffocating them.
I don't know how I ever did it now.
DJs be keeping big tobacco alive.
Oh, radio
Yeah.
people love cigarettes. You shitting
do.
me?
That's the one career that Big Tobacco's like, save the DJs.
Oh,
If the DJs go, so goes tobacco.
If Hubbard came out with a policy, you guys smoke them if you got them inside the building, people would be so happy.
Yeah, so for Michael, I would just say that a lot of times, some people, I found that I usually need one or two vices in my life. And so to me, it's just trying to upgrade your vice to something that's a little bit better than smoking.
Oh, I'm a real prick when I am sober, Steve. Like nothing, there'll be months we'll do the cleanse and there's nothing going on. What a dick I am.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
see, I need a little bit of a vice.
I think everybody needs a little something
A little release.
You need some release, man.
to help them unwind. Yeah, so just try to find something a little bit more positive on that.
Everyone's got something to release. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like drinking, you got to do something. But to Kevin's point, though, I've seen people quit the party and go right into exercising, and that becomes a problem for them as well, to the point where they run their face off.
Yeah,
And
right.
you can run too much.
And then what? They just got no face?
I think they got no face, no fun.
Yeah, somehow they convince themselves that's all they need in life. Got an email from Therese in Pompano, the Pinot. She said, now that the kids are back in school, are you guys going to be bringing back You Can't Make a Face? That was the game we play where you have to drink a nasty substance, and if you make any kind of face whatsoever, then you get shocked. I would say with, that, the thing about it is we kind of ran out of really nasty substances, and we're getting into it either be stuff that'd be benign that you wouldn't make a face on, or now we're getting into stuff that would poison you. And so
Then Virginia wouldn't make a
that's it.
face ever. Then people get
Yeah.
mad. She never makes a face.
Right.
Birds go over the top with his faces.
Yeah. So every now and then, it's one of those bits that if you have a substance, whether it be a hot sauce or something like that that's new to try out, then we'll bring it back for that.
But as a staple, as they say in the business, where it would be a reoccurring bit, yeah, it's both a floater. It's a floating bit.
Not enough stuff out there. I mean, I think we went through like maybe 10 or 15 different rounds of it, and we hit about everything you could do
Yeah.
that would work for it. So, yeah, it's a deal with that one. Buddy Jay sent an email. He said, kudos to Jupiter High School. They've got clubs for just about everything, including a Taylor Swift fan club.
Aw.
They said about 6 to 8 people are a part of it. And he said, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I sat down with one real Swiftie. This girl talked nonstop for close to half an hour about Taylor Swift.
Most of them can do that, boo.
She's been to 3 Swift concerts and admits to having that Swift amnesia you're talking about. She doesn't remember parts of one show. It's amazing how much she knew about it. He said also, we had Tyler Cameron stop by for the morning announcements. He came to meet with students about his scholarship program.
Yes, there's beautiful scholarships that are available, and students really got to jump on it. I know Tyler Cameron's is up for grabs now. Also, the Elks here locally, they give out thousands and thousands of dollars. Last year, they just didn't have a lot of kids apply. And it's not on a need-based, it's on academic, a lot of them, or it's on like a charitable basis. And there's so much money that if you don't ask for, you don't get. So high school seniors, and if you have a high school senior, make sure they apply for these scholarships.
Tell you what, those Elk son of a bitches know how to party too. And I mean that in a loving way when I say son of a bitches.
I think I'm going to join the Elks Club.
You know what?
The one in Jupiter, they throw down and they have $2 beers.
I can speak about the Moose. You know,
The Moose is the same
man,
way.
the Moose got loose.
The Moose has a fun bingo. So does the Elks. They know how to turn up.
Bingo sounds so much. You get a couple of your friends, you get a little buzz going, play some bingo. It ain't about winning. If you win, that's the frosting.
You don't care about winning?
If you win, you give it to the oldest person there.
Just bingo is just. I think I like those kind of events where
too.
they're they're kind of small town type of.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Charming.
Yes.
Talk about getting some freebie stuff. I had seen this article they'd had. You know the voucher program that they have now where you get up to like $8,000, I guess it is, for a kid if you want to send them to a private school or some other school like that. You can go ahead and take advantage of it. They pretty much open it up to about everybody.
Yeah.
Crazy thing about it, there is an article now that they were looking into what people are spending some of the school vouchers for and what you're allowed to. There are people that are buying theme park passes, 55-inch TVs, stand-up paddle boards. Those are all approved items you can get with this voucher program. I'm like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah. If you are homeschooling your kids or if you send them to private schools, the voucher money, if it remains and you have some left over after paying tuition and fees, they're finding that people are using it for these other things, and they're actually approved part of it. I'm like, that's crazy. They see it as allowing families to customize education according to their child's needs.
I could see maybe if you are homeschooling that those could be considered field trips and extracurricular sports for the homeschool student. It kind of does make sense.
It's crazy, though.
It's a smart way to wiggle around and get cool stuff.
They said in 2021, 2022, families spent $43,000 plus on treadmills, $30,000 on indoor trampolines, and $226,000 on game consoles.
So you've upgraded your home facilities to homeschool your kids with these vouchers. I think it's just brilliant.
Crazy. And you can do field trips, too.
But then you got to homeschool your kids, and that shit sounds terrible.
Or I think you can send them to a cheap-ass junky private school, and then whatever's left from the $8,000, I think you get to keep.
Brilliant.
I was just like, wow. Yeah, I guess if the government's going to hand out freaking money like that. But, I mean, here we got teachers that can't even afford enough stuff for their classrooms or got to pay out of their pocket or do a GoFundMe.
It does seem wonky.
And here we are buying treadmills.
It does seem like a misappropriation of funds if we're buying people treadmills.
It just seems weird.
Teachers can't get construction paper.
They got to buy it themselves. It is very Willy Wonky.
Why don't we give the teachers a treadmill so she can burn off some of the anger?
Yeah.
Instead of a treadmill, can we get like a treasure full of booze?
A spa day?
Yeah, but I guess, I mean, hey, if the government ever, because they will take money from you, so if they'll have a handout to you, I guess that's the thing. I guess go grab it, right?
Good for you for figuring it out.
And to piggyback on what Virginia was saying, she is right. Even back when I was going to school, there are ways that people don't even realize for education, little scholarships and grants that they sometimes go unclaimed because no one even bothers trying to do it. You
You're
gotta
right.
do research, but there's a lot. You're telling me some of that shit Mag's got.
Mag's got so many little scholarships for this and that and community service and things that she did and she applied for. And I was like, oh, yeah, apply for everything. She got a lot of stuff.
Gosh, man, did I just do fucking college so the wrong way? I
was-
signed the things where it would go, okay, you want to pay more money? All right, sign this thing. And then it'll be, you'll take a class, not get credit for it, and then have to take it again. Sign.
Right.
Nothing was big. She didn't get like, $20,000 or anything crazy, but a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. When
Yeah.
you add all that together, that's your books.
Right.
That's part of your meal plan. Like, it really does come in handy, and it's free money.
Yeah, you can get as many scholarships. Just keep racking them in, baby.
If you have a high school senior, maybe this year or one coming up next year, don't forget all these little scholarships. Tyler Cameron's one, Elks, every one of the charitable organizations like the Rotary Club, a lot of charities, a lot of foundations, they all do scholarships, but you don't get it if you don't apply.
I was too busy thinking I was going to be playing third base for the Atlanta Braves, Virginia. Boy, that dream died real quick.
Oh, you don't even watch the Atlanta Braves play anymore. Look at you.
That's not completely true. I still watch old school 1980s Braves on YouTube.
Oh, by the way, I was going to ask you if you have any Braves gear. I think Caitlin's going to Atlanta this weekend. So,
I do have.
so she's going to a Braves game.
I've got a Dale Murphy jersey she can use.
Yeah, I think she'd like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll have to check and see if that'll
I got
work
some
out.
stuff for her for sure.
Yeah, girl's not working, so she's done with her 2 weeks, so she's free. She's unleashed.
Now she goes back to work in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's interesting schedule. She's like 2 weeks on. She worked and got off. I think it was Sunday or Monday that we saw her. So she had worked the 2 weeks prior. So she's there the entire time.
Look, if she's going to a Braves game, wearing a Dale Murphy jersey that's a cool thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah. They want to go and they want to hit. Don't know if you've ever been, but now they have the stadium. It's a bar district called the Battery. Oh. And so they're going to go hit that on Friday night and do some bar hopping there and then go to the Braves game. It's a fun little area if you ever go to Atlanta.
Just be careful. Keep your wits about you. Atlanta and New Orleans, just a little bit of extra crime these days.
Okay. Yeah, I went to one Brave game. I believe it was that stadium. How old is that stadium? Is it newer?
Yeah, it's relatively new.
Then I lied.
Yeah. When did you go?
Back in 2000 and...
Yeah, you probably went to the other one that was right on the highway.
That makes...
The Mercedes-Benz one?
No, they don't play baseball there. That's a football stadium.
We're fucking everything up. I was there a long time ago, Kev.
Okay, yeah. It's a newer area. So.
We don't know anything new.
Yeah,
you're right. There's a timeline where I really excel and it all falls off.
Just really, it's like you guys haven't experienced life after 2005.
But we're good at old.
Yes.
Yeah. Who gives a shit, right?
All right, y'all. Thanks for the email. Send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.